Okay, welcome back to Farm Talk Fridays. We're only 5 minutes late.
That's right.
I wanted to do a little curl around the face.
Looks beautiful.
Thank you, baby. Okay, so are we starting off with you and what you ate this week?
Well, what we both ate. It's what
we both ate, okay.
So, okay, you know, we talk about what we harvested and ate, so the stuff we grew. And
yes.
So, starfruit, mangoes, katuk. We haven't talked about katuk, I don't think, before. It's this great perennial, grows all the time. Yes, I have to speak up this time. Anyway, katuk, K-A-T-U-K. It's this leafy thing. It's perennial, which means it grows all year round. And it's a replacement for like spinach and other things, also for lettuce. And it has protein, which is nice in a leafy green. But what we didn't consume this week was our coconuts. We had this awesome coconut tree or coconut palm, whatever.
Coconut palm.
And it was producing like crazy. It was so prolific, and it gave us the most delicious coconuts. And it like died overnight. I mean, it died over in a like matter of a week or two. And this palm is it was a dwarf coconut tree, like maybe a Thailand coconut tree, which means they're short, which is easy to get to the fruit, easy to get to the coconuts. Anyway, it's completely dead now, and the culprit is the rhino beetle, the rhinoceros beetle. It looks exactly the way it sounds. It looks like a rhinoceros, but
a beetle.
This big, a black beetle. And they eat the palm fronds.
Hi, Sandy.
And then they infect the tree, and it dies from the leaves inward. And now it's dead. And I guess
sad.
I think we have to burn all of the
palm fronds.
Yeah, so.
Well, it's not even that it's dead, it's that it has been dead for a few days and it's already been cut down to a stump. And
yeah.
It's sad. We have a friend right next to it that is starting to produce. But this time we know what to look out for.
Yes. In other farm news, we have made great strides on the chicken tractor. I still have the June 1 completion date in mind. We have the floor on. Chicken tractor is mobile, so it's not like the ground is the floor. I actually had to put like a fencing as the floor so no predators can dig under and come up. And so anyway, the fencing's kind of got wide holes so they can eat the grass and everything, but still not get eaten by the predators. And that's it for me.
And this is Ken's first design for a chicken tractor.
Yes.
So we'll see how it works. Maybe
it's going to be the most fantastic, amazing looking, functioning chicken tractor of all time.
Well, it certainly looks great. And I'm sure it will function wonderfully too.
I hope so.
Yes. So for my Farm Talk Friday, I thought I would talk about moon cycle. So we are heading towards full moon?
Mm-hmm. Well, we're always eventually heading towards full moon.
Yeah, but you could also say that about new moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're heading towards the full moon. And
we're about halfway there.
Yeah. Yeah, we have this moon calendar that I could bring out some other time. It's beautiful.
We'll post a photo.
Okay. And so basically on the moon cycles, like when you're heading towards a full moon, you can trim things back and it'll promote them to like grow out. So all the water is like kind of coming up to the surface of the leaves, and it's telling the plant like, you know, bloom or go out. So after the new moon, the water starts to head back down towards the earth, and that is kind of like the root down period. And so you can, if you start, you know, trimming things back around then, it's going to promote them to root down. And then that would, which is kind of important for our soil, which is still very clay. And so I kind of do need to tell the plants, like, I need you to be strong and get down there. So everyone wants like a plant that like is beautiful and is growing out. But sometimes you need to start with your roots, your foundation. And so I don't really have, I mean, I can busy myself outside forever, but I haven't had like a lot to do this week. I'm kind of waiting to get a little bit closer to the new moon, so in a few days. So basically what I'm trying to say is, Ken said, hey, when do you want to take this trip? We're gonna go on a trip just up north, a little staycation in that we're staying in the country. And he said we could do it this weekend or the following weekend. I said, not next weekend. Next weekend I need to stay here because it's like this moon cycle thing. So right now, like before we go tomorrow, I will cut some things back so that I can transplant them later. But really it's like I want to get back next week so that I can start planting things in the ground and get ready for everything to root down. So I'm very excited about that. And it works with our hair too. So there's a company, I think they're based out of San Luis Obispo, and they're called, I don't know if the salon's called Morocco Method, but the website is called Morocco Method. And they have a moon chart for your hair, and they will send you this kit with scissors, and they tell you like, hey, trim at this time for root strength. And they have like at least 4 different times, based on the moons of like what it's going to do for your hair. And so I always thought that was cool. So working with the moons is kind of more biodynamic. It can be part of permaculture as well, but biodynamics uses moon cycles a lot. And then the final thing I wanted to talk about was I had a friend, Anne, ask me about permaculture and like, hey, I want to get into it. What's it about? Can you send me information? And I said, yes, of course, which I still need to do it. But I told her, I'm like, hey, if you watch this video, I'm going to talk about zone 1 today. So in permaculture, we have 5 zones, and it basically goes from like what's close to your house, and then you have a few more zones. Zone 5 is nature. Zone 4, you would plant things like berries that you don't mind if like other animals are eating, kind of like walls, walls of fruit, knowing that your neighbors, meaning the animals and the birds, that you don't mind them, you're trying to distract them over there. Thanks, baby. And so anyway, we'll talk about zone 2 and 3 some other time, but zone 1 is stuff that you want like right by your house. And usually this will be like medicinals, culinary herbs. Aloe to me is this miracle that needs to be definitely in zone 1, but everybody's garden. And it should be, in my opinion, kind of close to the kitchen, because if you burn yourself, you want it close. So I had somebody else, I'm just gonna be really quick about this, tell me last week, like, hey, you should talk about zone 1 and how beautiful it is, because they were taking a shower in our outdoor shower. And they said, wow, that's so amazing that you planted these ylang-ylang trees, which have like this beautiful smell, by the bathroom, and by your septic system. It's like, yep, I did that. She's like, and you also have Damiana planted around the bedroom, and Damiana and this other plant that we have called Zacate Chichi, which I call like the dream plant, is planted in close proximity to the bedroom as well. And so it's kind of these ideas, it's almost like feng shui with plants, zone 1. So we can get into that more later, but thanks everyone for tuning in today, and we will be back at you next Friday.
Hasta luego.
Baby.